Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God. You would not believe what just happened. You would not believe what just happened. Y'all, this is huge. This is huge. I mean, God. I mean, you could make this stuff up. The Hollywood writers could never. They could never. Now, unfortunately, I cannot be live for too long today because I have to get to work. But, wow. I mean, just wow. This is, oh my goodness gracious. Oh my God. This is absolutely 100% positively crazy. So, for those of you who are just tuning in, early this morning at 3:04 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, presumably, Elon Musk issued a somewhat apology tweet post tagging Donald Trump, saying, quote, "I regret some of my posts about President Trump last week. They went too far." Now, I want to highlight some key words in this before I even get to people's responses. He said, "I regret some." Some. That's a peculiar word to use. I regret some. Which ones do you then regret? Which ones do you not? I would love to know. He said they went too far. Okay, well, something can go too far, sure, but it doesn't mean that it's untrue. Doesn't mean that it's incorrect. Doesn't mean that it is not a thing. So, this is huge. Because, look, I am no fan of Elon Musk. Not at all. This is a guy who's done countless amounts of damage. This is a guy who, fired so many people, uprooted them from their livelihoods for the purpose of a rich man's version of efficiency. So I am not in any shape or form going to, all of a sudden be okay with what Elon Musk is doing. No. He is not. No. If you are now saying that you regret some of your posts, it's okay, so are you deciding that, you are wanting to be friends with Donald Trump again after you just accused him of being a part of the Epstein files, which is absolutely 100% plausibly true. This is just wild. The fact that Elon Musk posted, he said, "I regret some." So he doesn't regret all of his posts, he only regrets some. That's not fully making up. That's not kissing and making up. So I'm really intrigued to see what posts he does regret and does not regret. But let me get to some of these comments here, because this is very much what it has turned into. This is Elon Musk 48 hours ago. Now, today, it's he's had a change of heart. This is big breaking news. This is huge. This was not on my weekly bingo card, all right? Elon Musk says, "I regret some of my posts about President Donald Trump last week. They went too far." And again, it was posted at 3:04 a.m. this morning. Now, I'm assuming he's in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. I mean, I hope he's, or I assume that he is. So that would have been, 6 hours ago? And it's already gotten about 24 million views as the time I took this screenshot. Art Candy says, "Did he give you your contracts back or something? You can't close the Epstein can of worms." So true though. Remember that Elon Musk only decided to bring this up when it was convenient for him to turn on Trump, because he doesn't like what was in Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill, which is a trash bill anyway, because it guts Medicaid for low-income people. Also, it guts food stamps for low-income people. And it gives tax cuts to the wealthiest of the wealthy, like George Soros or Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. Or Bill Gates. So, we don't, no. That's an awful bill. Why are you trying to literally do a reverse Robin Hood? That all being said, Elon Musk decided to turn on Trump because that bill explodes the federal debt and deficit. And then he decided to use this information. But lo and behold, he knew and said that Donald Trump is connected with the Epstein files. But like, he's now only bringing it up when he wants to hold something over Donald Trump. So it doesn't make Elon Musk look like a good person either. He has literally entrusted his son with Trump, who he is claiming is also a danger to kids, which, duh. So like, anyway. So now that, this is huge. This is huge breaking news. Like, y'all, what are your responses? I don't want to, like, I'm not going to brag. I do think I'm one of the first people to talk about it. This was posted only 6 hours ago. We're going to be hearing about this all day. To the 171 of you that are here, this is huge. This is going to be talked about for the next 2 to 3 days. And you heard it here first, that Elon Musk says that he is now regretting posts that he posted about Donald Trump last week. But notice how regret doesn't mean that he's apologizing. And notice how regret doesn't mean that they were untrue. And notice how regret doesn't mean that they are incorrect. And also he used the word some. And so these were common responses that were shared amongst many people in the comments. And of course, Elon Musk only decided to do this when it was politically expedient for him. Did he give you your contracts back in the big, beautiful bill? You can't close that can of Epstein worms so easily. So, did you lie when you said Trump was in the Epstein files? Or did you just regret saying it out loud and getting threatened? 100%. And this person said you used considerable wealth to facilitate a dictatorship in the US. Now it's time to clean up your mess. Look at LA. That is the image that you envision for the US. And I don't know what it was, but like, I don't know what it was, but everyone in the news media, like a lot of your traditional media outlets, were all shifting away from this story to then talk about what's happening in LA. And something I've been really grappling with is like, no, we haven't dealt with this big thing that Elon Musk revealed, like, what, 4 days ago? The fact that he said, Elon Musk is arguably Donald Trump's closest ally. And his closest ally literally just said, yeah, Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Like, we knew that, but for Donald Trump's closest ally, the guy who he had entrusted, who literally was his biggest fundraiser, like, that's just huge. For him to then all of a sudden be like, mark this post. That's huge. And when the media started shifting and talking about everything happening in LA, which is greatly important, I'm like, no, we can't just all of a sudden divert from this huge thing that the richest man in the world, Elon Musk, just accused the most powerful man in the world, our president, of being on the Epstein list. Like, I don't think America, we even dealt with that fully yet. And of course, right-wing media loves to fearmonger about what's happening in LA when literally most of these protests are just people peacefully protesting. They're just like, we don't like ICE. Stop ICE. Which, y'all, ICE is awful, okay? ICE is absolutely awful. They're like, right now Trump is using the National Guard on his own citizens. This is the stuff you would see in a third world country. I don't like the expression third world country, but you know what I mean. Like, this is what you would see in other countries overrun by corruption, except it's here at home. That all being said, Trump sent troops to LA to distract you from this. Now, just to be clear, I am not sure whether this photo is AI generated or not, but there are so many different photos that are basically very similarly the same thing. And I pointed them out endlessly on my live streams. That all being said, it is huge for Elon Musk to now be saying that he regrets talking about this. It's like, you can't just say you regret it. Now, there are mixed responses from people who are huge Trump fans and huge Trump defenders. to huge Elon fans and huge Elon defenders, giving him credit for apologizing, some saying they don't trust him. It's all over the place. And MAGA, of course, they're always looking for a big, strong alpha male to then lead their caucus. They can't think critically for themselves. They can't rely on their own autonomy. They have to have some sort of leader, and, it's funny how they like to try and claim other people are snowflakes when they themselves don't know what to think until someone tells them. So this person responded, my initial gut reaction when I first saw this, not gonna lie, when I was researching for this story, I sit in my car and I do these live streams. I looked at that and I literally gasped. I gasped when seeing Elon saying, I regret some of my posts about President Donald Trump last week. They went too far. I actually gasped. Now, this person said, some? That was my first reaction after my gasp. I was like, some. Which ones do you regret? Which ones do you not? Genuine question. And this person says, in response to they went too far, this person said, no, they didn't. They were funny, and it's about time someone said it. 100%. Now, of course, this person then asked Grok, hey, create an image of Elon begging Trump. And Grok is like, I can't do that. And I'm not often on the same wavelength as Harry Sisson. I would say that I'm more of like a progressive Bernie bro. We're on the same page when it comes to many things, but on several things we're not. Though I give credit where credit is due. And Harry Sisson says, are you back on the side of defending someone you said is in the Epstein files? That's a genuine question. So you notice how you said, I regret saying it. It went too far. Notice how you're not saying that it's untrue. Notice how you were not saying that it was false or that it was blasphemous. Notice how you're not saying it was defamation or that you were lying. No, he says that he regrets it. You're turning the subject of what you're talking about into then not being about, like, you notice for anyone who's an English grammar, person, the subject of this sentence is I regret some of my posts about Donald Trump. They went too far. Notice the subject is him. He's saying, I regret it. The subject of this is not him talking about the posts or what he said. It's about him and his feelings. So he's now only sharing this because he now regrets it. So he must have felt some sort of reason why. Maybe it's because he's getting a whole bunch of backlash. So if you read into this, it's like, yeah, it's all about Elon's personal feelings. Maybe Donald Trump would have some dirt on him or something like that. That's possible. And it's just this whole thing is crazy, and this is probably the first time you're hearing this. This is going to be news for the next 2 to 3 days, I'll tell you. They may have went too far, but they were not untrue. Trump was a frequent flyer with Epstein, and he has not released the list because he knows that he is on them. Who is right? Elon Musk or Donald Trump? This person says, you've got to be kidding me. Since when did you turn into a chicken? Big tough guy other day, and now you go soft? Did the sentient Cheeto threaten to hurt you with a cheeseburger and bury you under a flaming Tesla? That's a lot. Now, let me address something also really quickly. And y'all, if you're enjoying the live stream, please make sure to send some likes. If this is your first time seeing me, my name is Scott. I'm a former political organizer. I now work in the corporate world because I needed health insurance. I might run for office at some point. I love each and every single one of you. You will only be muted if you are disrespectful or you spread misinformation. You can disagree with opinions or my analysis, but you cannot disagree with the objective information at hand. And if you do, then that literally means that you're crafting your own narrative and that you are the wannabe snowflake. Cool? Got it? Love you. Awesome. Now, that all being said, this person says, if Trump was on the Epstein files, your party would have made sure they were released a few years ago, especially during the election season. Now, pause. Every single time there was some sort of very credible accusation or finding or corruption about Trump, what did the right wing immediately do? They pointed and said, fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news, because they didn't like it. So even if Democrats were to then release those Epstein files, they would have likely done the same thing. And you'll say, well, why didn't they just do it? They did it with everything else. Well, the Epstein files contain some of the most notorious and powerful people. Do you not think that there's probably going to be some Democrats also on there? Y'all, these Epstein files condemn both parties. But let me be clear. If you think that it's more one party or the other, it's both. It's both. Now, if you, don't conflate me saying that with excessive both sidesism, where I'm going to say that both are equally corrupt. No, Republicans are significantly more corrupt than Democrats when it comes to so many different issues. We don't need to talk about that right now. But my point is here, when it comes to these Epstein files, yeah, it condemns both. So neither one wants to release it because it's a bad look for either one of them. But like, Elon Musk only uses this when it's politically expedient for him. But also, let me be clear about something. Donald Trump was literally a close confidant of Jeffrey Epstein. Like, that's not a secret. They're in so many different photos together. Let me also just point out, and my phone is getting hot here. Hold on. I need to turn on my AC. I need to turn on the AC for my car. Whenever I do these live streams, my phone gets so hot that it's like, it makes it hard for me to see on the screen. But let me also just point out here that Donald Trump was asked about declassifying the Epstein files. Asked about it. Hold on, let me make sure my Bluetooth is... There we go. Okay. Sorry, my Bluetooth was trying to connect to my car. No, ma'am. Donald Trump was asked about declassifying these Epstein files. And so they asked him, hey, would you declassify the 9/11 files? Would you declassify the JFK files? And he goes, yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. And then it was like, okay, would you declassify the Epstein files? And Donald Trump said, yeah, but apprehensively. Then he's like, well, I guess I would, but maybe less so, because then he goes, you don't know, then says, you don't know, like, you don't want it to affect people's lives because there's a lot of phony stuff in there. He's saying that, like, there's a lot of phony stuff in the Epstein files. I would release that, sure, but I think less so. I would just, when release it, it's not as important to me. Right now, there's no excuse for the right wing not to release the Epstein files. And I'll say, oh, well, why didn't Joe Biden release it? Maybe he's on it too. Who knows? I'm not going to give, like, I voted for Joe Biden in 2020. I voted for Kamala Harris in 2024. If they are on the list, if they are implicated in these files, great, hold them accountable. And that's where everyone else should be too. Like, for anyone who thinks that Donald Trump is some sort of savior or like a truth teller, exposes government corruption, he is just as much of a wheel in the cog of the machine as anybody. In fact, he is kind of like a central part of that machine. So spare me the whole idea that Donald Trump is saving America. No, he is literally just a corrupt embodiment of it, an extension of the same swamp that he claimed that he condemned. He said all of that just to get elected so that he could feel like a powerful man. That's what a lot of politicians do. He is exactly the same thing that you claim to be against. The reason why he won't even do the bare minimum of releasing them is because he's a part of the same crap. You'll say, oh, well, at least he's better than others. Yeah, like bankrupting, like, our country, putting us into so much debt, trying to gut Medicaid and food stamps for the lowest income people, giving tax breaks to billionaires, turning the U.S. military on our own citizens. Yeah, I think that we can do so much better than that and not elect someone like him. That all being said here, people, when it came to Elon Musk and his post, it's not entirely surprising. It's not entirely surprising that all of a sudden he's had a change of heart, because it's very likely that Donald Trump is now trying to hold something over him. He's like, oh, they went too far. Notice how he's not saying that they are untrue. And now, I appreciate every single one of you. I have to go in just a minute. But I wanted to share a couple other things. The problem with that list is that it contains names from all sides of fame and power. Politicians, actors, sports stars, and all of that. If it were to come out, it would break this entire society. So I think let's all get on the same page here, and then I have to go because I have to get to work. It's important for us to advocate that this list be released. Period. End of story. Sure, if you want to critique Democrats, they should have released it too. Why not? That's a fair critique. You'll say, well, why didn't they do it? Why didn't they do it? Every single time Democrats had some crazy, some sort of accusation against Trump, immediately the right wing would deny it out of convenience for them. So even if they were to release the Epstein files, even if they were to do that, and Donald Trump be on there, people would be like, oh, that's fake news. But also, many Democrats probably didn't want to release it because it also implicates them too. So it's something that the U.S. public wants, but maybe the government doesn't want to share. But let's put in perspective who the establishment is right now. The establishment is Donald Trump. Republicans have the House. Republicans have the Senate. Republicans have the presidency. Republicans have the Supreme Court. There are people that are like, this is a 4D chess move, blah, blah, blah. No, there's no reason for that. They have the votes. They have the power. Why don't they do it? Because it implicates them too. It implicates them too. So let's all get on the same page and be like, yeah, Donald Trump is clearly in the Epstein files. And also, you can see it in the flight logs. If you all actually go and look at the existing ones, you can see Donald Trump's name in there. I know it's hard to see, but it's underlined there in black and pointed out with the red. It says Donald Trump. You can see it right there. Donald Trump next to Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein. You can see it here, Jeffrey Epstein, Donald Trump. You can see it here. More of Donald Trump. You can see it here. But also, let me also just point out, grab him by the P word. Grab him by the pussy. Yeah, do you think it's inconceivable that he is someone that affiliates with Jeffrey Epstein? Or even said that he admits to being a sexual predator on the Howard Stern show years ago. He's like, it's true. It's true. He's like, I'll tell you the funniest thing. I go backstage in a Miss Teen USA and everyone's getting dressed and, there's no men anywhere and I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant. I'm inspecting the girls 14 to 16 and standing there with no clothes on. This is a guy. It's not surprising that he'd be in the Epstein files at all. At all. And again, him saying I would release them, but you don't want to affect people's lives. He means himself. So, all in all, let me circle back to the main crux. Elon Musk, Donald Trump's closest friend in government, the guy who bankrolled his campaign, just posted about 5 hours ago, almost 6 hours ago, said, I regret some of my posts about Donald Trump last week. They went too far. Notice how there is not an admission that what he said was untrue. He says that he regrets it, not that they were incorrect. He says they went too far, but doesn't say that it was incorrect. Doesn't say that it was truthful. You're going to be hearing about this for the next 2 days, and you heard it here first. So please make sure to smash that subscribe button. I have to get to work in 15 minutes because your boy is working class. I am trying to promote and do as much content as I can while also working a full-time job and having a work-life balance. So if you want to support me and my own independent media ventures, please make sure to smash that subscribe button. Shout out to my amazing moderators, Ellie, Kate, Jenny, Akicha, Joanna Tech, Ilisa, Cherie. I love all of you so much. Y'all are incredible. Did I miss anyone? I don't think I did. Ellie, Jenny, Joanna Tech, Akicha, Kate. Oh, Kate. Love you, Kate. Cherie, and Joanna Tech. Ilisa. Yeah, I love all of you so much. Y'all are incredible. Just remember that you are beautiful, that you are loved, that you are valid, you are strong, and you are fierce. Don't let anyone or anything ever, 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 ever dim your shine. I love you all so much. Bye! Go check out my latest videos.